Hello there, my name is Lon. Welcome to the movement and yoga section of your retreat day for Hurst 2020. I hope you've set your scene nicely at home in a nice relaxed space. As you can see here, I'm just in my living room, so you really can practice anywhere. Perhaps you're in your garden today. So I'm just want to remind you that this is a practice for everybody. Obviously, I have no idea who's doing this class today, but I want you to make sure that everything feels very comfortable in your body. If there's something that doesn't feel great, then just leave it out. There's no prize for doing it all. This is a session to target the typical areas that get quite tight, like the shoulders and the hips, and to deepen the breath so you can feel very relaxed and stretched out in your body. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to use a couple of props today. Well, not really. We're going to use a ball. That's one prop that we need. And if you don't have one, it's not the end of the world. Just miss that out. And I've just got a little folded hand towel here because we'll do a lunge in this practice. And it can be quite nice to pad the knee underneath at the back. Okay, so let's go over to the mat. And we're going to start with the ball. The other thing that I have lots of here are cushions, so that will be quite helpful for you as well. Okay, so just start very first of all, we're going to use the ball to massage the foot a little bit. The feet are really important, and if we get the feet moving well, it can feel really good throughout the rest of the body. So just start to work around the foot. If you don't find it so easy to balance on one leg like this, then just hold onto a chair or sit on a chair and roll each foot out while you're sitting down. Okay, so make sure you try and get into as much of the foot as possible. And then we'll switch over to the other foot. So nice little massage there, getting into all the different parts. Our feet have the ability to be as dexterous as our hands, which I always find absolutely fascinating. But of course we wear a lot of shoes and socks and boots and high heels and goodness knows what else, which squishes our feet quite a lot over life. So let's just leave the ball now. I'm just going to roll it off the side. And bring your feet onto the surface you're standing on. Just enjoy feeling the connection between your feet and the floor. I'm going to close the eyes for a few moments here. Obviously, you're in the privacy of your own home. You don't have to close your eyes. But in yoga, we do this quite often to help turn the awareness inside. Okay, so you're going to breathe in and out of the nose, if that's at all possible. And give yourself a few breaths here to connect into your body and how you're feeling today. When you inhale, perhaps you'd like to imagine you're bringing the breath from your feet all the way up through your body to the top of your head. And then as you breathe out, the breath is simply flowing all the way down and out of the feet, connecting you a little bit more into the body, into the breath, and your steady position here standing on the ground. Take one more breath like this. And then we're going to add an arm stretch. So let's open the eyes. I'm just going to come back slightly so my arms don't get lost. Inhale, reaching up, stretch up. You can just keep looking forward here. Exhale, relax the arms down. Inhale, reaching up. When you reach up, really stretch. What can you reach? Imagine you've got something you want to get from above you. And exhale, release. And on the last one, let's turn the face up as well, as long as that's nice in your neck. And exhale, release the arms down. And then we're going to place the hands on the hips and take the feet a fraction wider and start to move your hips in a circular movement. You can keep your knees a little bit relaxed here. Keep your breath very relaxed, keep breathing comfortably, and then go round the other way. So limbering up the lower back, hips, and getting some information about how that part of the body is feeling today. Okay, settle back onto your standing position and then bring your hands up onto your shoulders. And then we're going to make little circles with the elbows to get into the shoulders here. We're going to breathe in as you lift the elbows up and breathe out as they come behind you. You might get a few little clicks and clunks. Try to keep the head in the center. One more that way. Then go the other way. Inhale the elbows back and up. Exhale them forward. Great. And relax the arms all the way down. And then we're going to take the feet again slightly wider and do some sideways movements. So imagine you've got something in front of you and behind you, maybe some soft curtains, and you're standing in between your curtains, and you want to stay between those curtains as you slide down one leg and come back to the center. Slide down the other leg and back to center. So as you go to the side, reach that hand down towards the side of the thigh, maybe to the knee. Come back to the center. You're inhaling as you go to the side. Exhale back to center. And let's do a couple more. Inhale to the side. The top hand can slide up towards the armpit. Keep those hips steady. You're moving from the waist really here. And always keep this kind of movement comfortable in the lower back. Let's do one more. Inhale over to the side. Exhale back to the center. Good. And then we're going to take the feet back to a hip width position and do a very simple squat here. Squats are really good to get the energy moving through the body and release tension that builds up around the hip area. So I'm turning sideways so you can see that my knees are going to try and stay over my ankles. Inhale, send your bottom back. Make sure you're keeping the spine nice and long here. You're not tucking your pelvis under. Inhale there. Exhale, come back up to standing. The arms are just coming forward for a bit of balance. Inhale. And exhale. Keep this comfortable in your knees. And two more. Inhale, come down. Feel a bit of a stretch around the bottom. Exhale, up. Last one, inhale and exhale. Good, and then we're going to roll the body down into a forward bend. So again, actually I'll stay sideways. You want to see that the knees stay bent for this. Drop your chin into your chest, let your shoulders be very relaxed, and take as many breaths as you want to start rolling down. Now you might find you only want to roll a part of the way, or you may be quite flexible and you want to roll all the way down. Make sure there's no sharpness, no pulling in the back, and get to where you are most comfortable. Head is really heavy, arms heavy, and relax into your breathing here. For one more breath, and then keep your knees bent, keep your head and your arms heavy, and roll all the way back up. And just pause for a moment. Notice how you feel. Sometimes you can feel a little bit lightheaded coming up, so just take your time. And then we're going to come up to the top of whichever space you've got here and bring your hands into the heart center. This is a really nice focal point, bringing the hands into the heart center. Press the palms together. This will help you to connect some of the awareness of the muscles down the front of the body. And now inhale and take your arms wide and up and look up. And breathing out, coming forward into your forward bend. Do bend the knees if you need to. You want to move from your hips. If you're okay to work with straight legs, that's fine. Relax your head down. And now we're going to step back with one leg. So take one of your legs back, and this is where you may want that little bit of padding to put your knee on. Okay, I've just got like a folded hand towel. But come down, and if you don't need the padding, if you're on a soft floor like I am, you can just be on the floor. Okay, bring yourself up into this lunge here. So we've got 1 foot forward, 1 leg back. We're resting on the kneecap of that back leg, so it's really comfortable. Hands to the heart center. We're going to breathe in, send the hips forward a little bit, and then reach the arms up. The hands are apart here. You can look forward and slightly up. And then exhale, come back to the more upright lunge, hands to the heart center. Inhale, come forwards and up. If you're very flexible, just watch out for going too deep into your lower back here. You don't need to go very far. Exhale and come back. One more time. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, coming back, hands to heart center. From here, bring your hands down either side of the front foot. Curl the back toes under and lift that knee off the floor. And now take that foot back and bring yourself into downward facing dog. Now that's quite a big pose for some people, so you might prefer just to come to the hands and the knees. If you're on the hands and the knees, just pause there for a moment. If you're happy in downward dog, take a moment to just stretch those legs out a little bit. Bend one knee, straighten the other. And now we'll all come down onto the knees. So bring the knees down onto the floor. Your hands are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. On your inhale here, lift your tailbone up a little bit. Let your tummy relax and let your heart look forward, face look forward. And then breathing out round your back, draw the lower belly in, relax the neck and the head. And again, inhale, lifting through the tailbone, moving all the way through the front of the body to lift through the face. Exhale, rounding out. Feel the front of the body curling in on itself, opening up in the back. One more time. Inhale, looking forwards, lift the tailbone. Exhale, rounding out. This is cat. And now we're going to child's pose. So keep that nice rounded feeling, head relaxed, and take your bottom back slowly towards your heels. Inhale, come back up, find your lifted cat, or sometimes this is called cow pose, lifting the tail, lifting the head. Exhale, round through your back and back into child's pose. Go as far as you comfortably can here. And let's go one more time. Inhale and exhale, rounding out. Now I'd say that's a sort of level 1 movement. So if you're a bit newer to yoga or you're a bit stiffer in your body, stay with that. If you're a bit more mobile, a bit stronger in your body and you want to do a little bit more, we're now going to curl the toes under. So we've all taken a breath in here. So you can go back to child's pose or lift your knees off and exhale, come to downward facing dog. Down onto the knees, inhaling. Relax the toes, exhale all the way back to your child's pose. Inhale, hands and knees looking forward, either round the back or exhale, come into your downward facing dog. Inhale, knees down to the floor. Relax the toes, exhale, going back into your child's pose. And one more time, inhale, hands and knees. The hands are really nicely connected here. Exhale, downward dog. Make sure you're not locking your elbows or your knees. Slight softness in those joints so you can work the muscles and not press into the joints. Inhale to the knees and exhale, go back to child's pose. Now in this child's pose, let's just open the knees out a little bit wider and rest here for a moment. Bring the hands a bit closer, bring your head onto your hands and take a few resting breaths. Enjoy feeling where you're getting a stretch in your body. And take 3 more breaths here. And then we're going to roll up through the body. Bring ourselves back onto the knees and bring the other foot forward for the lunge. So just switch your legs round. And again, if you need the padding underneath your knees, you can put the padding under that back knee. Then lift yourself up and bring your hands to your heart center. Inhale, send the hips a little bit further forward if you can and reach through your arms. Exhale, bring yourself back, hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, and hands to heart center. One more time, inhale, reaching up. And exhale, back to your upright lunge. Okay, from here, let's take this knee back down to the floor. And we're going to come and sit on the bottom. But actually, that's not always easy for everyone. So let's use a cushion for a support here. So just get a cushion and sit so that you can have your bottom on the cushion. We'll just raise your pelvis up a little bit. And we're going to just take a moment here to try and straighten the legs and lengthen down through the feet. Soles of the feet stretching out, toes drawing back towards your head. And take a moment here. This might be quite difficult for a lot of people if we don't use our core muscles very much. It can be quite difficult to get an upright spine here. So if you're finding that difficult, just bend the knees a little bit, that's fine. Okay, but we'll take otherwise a couple more breaths. If you're finding it relatively easy, you can bring your arms forward or even up a little bit. But make sure your back doesn't curl. Take a few more breaths. I'm going to keep my hands down. And relax. Okay, so that might not look like you're doing very much, but if you work your muscles there, it can be quite a lot of work. Okay, now we're going to come down to the ground, and perhaps before you come down, just make sure you've got a few cushions. So I'm going to have 3 cushions handy. Let's put them on that side. And when you come down to the floor, if you have any back trouble, just roll to your side and then over onto your back. It's going to be much more comfortable for your back. And then your head wants to be on the ground here. So if you've got lots of hair tied up, just move it out of the way. So the back of your head's on the floor, back of the shoulders on the floor, your knees are bent here and your feet are on the ground. Try to have your feet pointing straight down your mat. You can always just double check that. And then feel where your ribs are. Try and drop your ribs into the ground a little bit. We're going to do a back bend here called bridge pose. So imagine you've got like 2 lights on your hip bones here at the front, and they're shining up towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, can you lift your bottom off the floor, shine the light from your hip bones up to the ceiling, and really enjoy opening that space out at the front of the hips. Keep your head in the center. And then breathing out, slowly come down. So if you're unsure and you need to watch this, what I'm doing, you can watch and then do it, but don't turn your head in the position. Inhale, lifting up. Squeeze into the bottom. You can press your arms a little bit, especially the upper arms, into the ground. Exhale and come down. And one more like that. Inhale, coming up, nice open feeling through the front of the body. Exhale, slowly down. Now we'll do one with the arms as well. So you inhale, lift your hips, And take your arms up and over past your head so they're on the floor, reaching into the fingers, reaching away into the knees. And then bring your arms down and your hips all the way down. Keep your hands on the floor again and come up one more time, and we'll hold for a few breaths. If that's uncomfortable anywhere, come down. Otherwise, just try to really feel that the back of your legs and your bottom working quite strongly here. One more breath. And slowly, slowly, slowly come down. Just let your back relax into the ground and sway your legs gently off side to side. Let the bottom really relax. And then we're going to have the feet together here and take the knees to the side in a twist. So this is where you may want one cushion. Pop the cushion off to the side that you're twisting to. Arms are stretched out. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, bring your legs across towards that cushion so that you can keep your opposite shoulder on the ground. And you turn your head away from your knees if that's comfortable, and take 5 breaths. Really relax into it with each exhale. At the end of the 5 breaths, bring your head back to the center. Bring your knees back to the center. And then we can put the cushion on the other side, or maybe like me, you've actually got a second cushion that is ready for the other side. Feet together, arms out to the side. Breathe in with the knees upright, breathing out as you take them across towards the cushion, stretching into the second side of your twist. So again, here you can turn your head, if that's comfortable, away from the knees. Close the eyes, feel into where you are experiencing a nice sensation here in the body. For 4 more breaths. Exhalation is the part of the breath where we can really drop in and relax. So experiencing that with the last 2 breaths here, letting go with your exhale. And then bring your head back to the center. You can open your eyes again. Bring your knees back to the upright position. And now we are going to come into a final relaxation pose here. There are a couple of options. So some people will really enjoy having the soles of the feet together here and the knees opening out. This we call butterfly pose. Now that's quite a big opener for the hips. So this is where the cushions again come in handy, one under each leg. And you may also like to have a little bit of support under the head. This cushion looks big, but it's actually very squishy, so that's a nice height for my head. You don't want anything too high. If this causes discomfort in your lower back, I would suggest leave the cushion under the head, but just lift your knees up and relax your knees against one another. So you've got an internal rotation of your thighs. Okay, so one or the other. And we'll just stay here for a little bit of time, feeling into the breath, feeling into the body. So get yourself comfortable. And if you're doing this on a day where it's a bit cooler, you might want a blanket over you at this point, or just something to cover you, make sure you don't get cold. And we're still going to be breathing in and out of the nostrils. But can you be aware of the movement of the breath around your belly and your abdomen? So when you breathe in, feel this space gently rising, and as you breathe out, feel it dropping back down. And we'll just stay quietly here for a few minutes. So relaxing into it Make sure there's no sharpness. It's all really comfortable and supported. Keep watching the breath. Make sure you're still focusing on the breath, the belly rising and falling. And now from here, start to come back into the awareness of your body, letting this go. Going to bring your hands to the outer edges of your thighs. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, use your tummy muscles and draw your legs upright, your knees upright. Walk your feet wider on your mat and a little bit further away from your body. And then relax your knees onto one another. And just adjust anywhere you need to. This will just open out the lower back a little bit, because sometimes in butterfly it gets a little bit more squashed in there. Take 5 breaths here. And at the end of these 5 breaths, make sure you are aware of what you're doing. Bring your knees back to the upright position. Wriggle your fingers in your toes. And let's stretch the legs down along the ground. You can move the cushion from underneath your head now if you wish. Take your arms overhead. Take a really nice long stretch through your body. And then when you're ready, bring the knees in. Let's bring one in and then the other. And then rock across your lower back a little bit here. And then let's finish with a few circles into the knees. So one hand on each knee, circling around. Go around the other way, maybe 2 or 3 in each direction, just to bring that movement back. And then roll to one side. If you're feeling very dopey, just stay on that side for another breath or 2. Otherwise, you can just push the hand into the floor and bring yourself all the way up. And I hope you really enjoyed that practice today. It's been lovely sharing some yoga with you.